Okay. So now, where do we start?
We are
What?
on the heels or coming off.
Of the rocks.
Yeah, we're coming off the rocks. Yeah.
We were doing our devotions together, and it brought up a question of asking each other whether we felt like we were a priority in each other's life. And we answered that question. We both answered. And what did you say?
Nope.
No.
Said no.
And then I said the same thing. And so that led us to ask, why? And what we can do to make each other, make each other a priority. And
we got to a point to where, even a week later, still
doing the same things, reverting back to the same habits.
Reverting back. And we would have these conversations previously and then go right back to it, We might be on the ball for maybe
a couple days.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I wouldn't even say a week.
If that,
Let's say a few days, and then we just get back into the things that we do. Our normal, I guess what you would call routine, right? So the biggest thing that we identified, though, is that we have been operating as two totally different, I guess, entities. Or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like we're in a marriage, but we live separate lives.
You have your business, I have mine. We're totally doing whatever it is. We're not really supporting each other and helping each other in our growth and furthering it in anything.
And I want to say, support, from what I'm learning, is like, how can I help you out within what it is that you're doing? Yes, it's your business. Yes, it's something that you started, but is there some way, somehow, that I can do something, other than taking the kids off your hand to help you further what it is that you're trying to do? How can I be more hands-on within your business? Because, like you said, operating as two separate entities, I don't know much about, outside of what you tell me you've been led to do and given to do. I don't really know, and I know where it is that you want to be, but I don't know the different steps that you have planned out to get to where it is you want to be, so that I can identify, okay, well, I can help here. You know what I'm saying? Here's something that I can take off your hands within your business. Yeah, so it's really not just doing household stuff and giving that person more time that gives support. I mean, I guess this is all coming to me right now, is that doing that type of stuff, I would want you to feel supported, I can take all of that stuff off your hands. You can still have all the time in the world, but you're still in it by yourself, so
yeah.
I'm just learning that I definitely need to sit down and, we can develop and figure out ways that I can also be involved in what it is that you're doing. Yeah, that's support. What can I take off your hands within what it is that you're doing? Or how can I help you to increase in a particular area of what it is that you're doing, so that you don't feel alone?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would imagine that it's a lonely place. It's a cold place. It's like, I'm really doing all of this work, but I'm doing it by myself. What I've noticed is that I've been shutting you out of my business and the things that I've been doing. I haven't been sharing with you, I tell you what's going on, but you don't really know the plan to get there, what it is going to get there. I don't ask for help, and again, I don't want to be in it alone, but at the same time, if I want support, I gotta kind of reach out, ask, right? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because if not, it's like, okay, I don't want to step on your toes. So I can understand from your perspective. You gotta be open and willing to accept.
Receive. Yeah.
If we're doing that, I mean, it spills over into your household and your marriage, and then it spills over to your relationship now, because it's like, I got this to take care of, you got that to take care of, and where are we building, where are we growing, where are we nurturing our relationship? You know what I'm saying? If I'm in my zone, in my box doing what I'm doing, and you're in your zone and your box doing what you're doing. Yeah, making sure the kids have eaten, bathed, all of that should be done together, not just where one person is doing it one day, another person is doing it another day, or one person is doing it 5 days out the week. That makes a person feel as though you're alone in the things that you're supposed to be doing together, it shouldn't just come down to where, okay, well, and then you start to think. I know for me, I started to think, okay, well, she's gonna get, and it's a subconscious thought. It's not where I'm sitting there like, oh, the kids need to eat. Oh, Tina got it. Mm-hmm. It's not one of those things. It's one of those things where like it's always been done by her, so you just kind of like it doesn't cross your mind,
Yeah.
So it's negligence. Just being mindful of the different things that needs to be done around the house, especially if you want to get that time in together. It's not just her responsibility. It's not just my responsibility. It's the stuff that we can do together, to make sure that everything lines up so that we can get that much needed time in. We're about to move to a point to where our time together is going to have no phones. Like you've already said, dinner time. Yes. Phones to the side.
No. No iPads, no phones.
Yeah, but when you spend the time with your partner, significant other.
Yeah, be present.
Girlfriend, husband, whatever.
Be
boyfriend.
In the moment.
Yeah.
The relationships that you have, be there. Yeah. Be present. Even when we're talking about, when it comes to playing with your kids or whatever it may be, just not having it where you're thinking about something else that you could be doing at the same time, or you should have done.
That's a tough one.
What?
To not think about.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, because the thing is, if I'm doing during meditation, when I'm trying to spend time with God, my mind drifts. Of course, if your mind is always consumed with all these other things, even when you're spending time with someone else, it's like your wife, your kids, it's like those thoughts and things, your mind is consumed. It's other places. So you have to be mindful about being present. Like you have to put in the work to do it. Yeah. So that it becomes a natural habit. It's not impossible to do, but it's
that's
like
the practice.
It's practice.
That is the practice. That is why you engage in meditation. That's why we encourage stillness and sitting with yourself and just practicing that, because these things need to be implemented throughout your day. And if you don't know how to actually be present, which most of us actually do not know how to, we have unlearned how to be present, because as a kid, you automatically, know it. Our kids know how to be present. They are fully there, fully aware, fully present. They are just being. But as we get older and different things come our way, and we've got other worries, we've got other things that are coming, that are on our plate, things that we're trying to figure out the answers to, or whatever it may be, that's when we start unlearning how to be present. So that stillness period, that mindfulness is really, really important. And so that was one of the pieces that we, through our talking and just trying to figure out and drill down the underlying issue that had all these branches, but we want to know where the root is, like what is the root cause. That was one of the, it's just us supporting each other, and then also being present while we are with each other.
There's plenty of opportunities in the day to focus on being present. For the most part, we actually have, let's say at least two opportunities every day to where we all can sit down. And again, it's not just being present with your family. When you eat, we eat. Yeah. We have breakfast. We definitely are all together for breakfast. Lunches, here and there, and dinner. Those are times where you can put practice so that you can get better at being present. It's not. Is it going to happen the first time? No, because if you're not present, or if you're already in that situation or that position where you're not present, then day one is not going to happen. You may find yourself drifting. You may be looking at the person, but mine's somewhere else. So it's just like constantly practicing, snap back in, snap back in, snap back in. That costs nothing. Nothing, and that can save relationships. Yes. Being present, and once you're present, you're listening. Yeah. When you're listening, you know what's going on. When you know what's going on, now we can work together. Yeah. We can do things about whatever issues, or we can, and there doesn't always have to be issues that you work on. How can we improve in areas that we're already strong at?
Fully there.
Enjoy it. Enjoy
it.
If you're not there, you're not enjoying it.
Being in the moment, that's one of the things that we were, those were the things that we were missing. And we were going through, like, when we were at the height of our relationship, and where we felt the closest. And when we were talking about it, we did everything together. Like even down to, like showers, and just like we were there. We were present, and we just had fun. Going to the grocery store, it was fun. Like little tasks, little errands that we would do. Everything was fun, but we were very close. We were very involved in what each other was doing. We were supportive of each other. We were encouraging each other. I mean, down in law school, when you would come up and visit me, he would test me on different things that I needed to do. He was involved in what I was doing. And then somewhere along the road, we kind of went in two separate directions. I mean, marriage is not I guess you say the easy. It takes work. It takes work. You're dealing with two people who were raised totally different, two different households, two different minds. Everything is different. So this is a consistent learning process, and we know that we're growing and we're evolving every single day. So what does that mean? You have to stay on point with your partner and understanding where they're growing. Where are they going? Are we going together? Are we going separately? That's when you see those people who have been married for 30 years, 40 years, and they get a divorce. And people are like, and I was one of those people that's like, oh my gosh, they've been together for so long. How in the world could they get divorced? That's because they've been separated for 30 of those 40 years. In their minds, they've been doing two different things, and then you realize you come together and you're like, I don't even know you anymore.
You're not the same person.
You're not the same person that I got married to. He's not the same person that I got married to. I'm not the same person that he got married to. But if we stay together and we're growing together throughout this journey of marriage and throughout our relationship, then we're understanding, oh, you're growing, you're evolving, you're becoming somebody different, and I'm learning to love that person as we're going. Like I'm falling more in love with you. I have a deeper love for you. These are the things that we were missing. We weren't really paying attention to. We weren't prioritizing, and we woke up and realized we were growing in separate directions, and we needed to kind of curb that and come back together. And so that is where we are, of rekindling our relationship.
You got to really check in. It requires being realistic. No blame necessary. There's really no need to blame. That's one thing that I can say that helped us through that conversation.
Yeah.
Is that we didn't point fingers. We didn't blame. We identified.
Yes.
We worked to identify what the issue was. Doesn't matter who calls it. It really doesn't matter. All that matters is
we're one.
Yeah,
right?
we are.
That's one thing.
It takes like two. So
two become one.
Yep.
We are one.
It takes two, because any issues that occur, 9 times out of 10, there's probably plenty enough blame to go around for both people.
That's one of the things that I can say. If you're in a relationship, I mean, along with what we've said, just really making sure that your communication is strong as it can be. And when we're having conversations, we're not just talking, and we're not just, what are you saying? Is it hearing the person, but you're actually listening. You're actually taking in what it is that they're saying. You're hearing them for all that they're bringing, and you're not just hearing, oh, you're trying to blame me? Yeah. Oh, what? You're not happy? Like, this isn't, you're glazing over everything else that they said, and you're just focused on this one thing of where we're talking about condemnation, we're talking about blame, we're talking about shame, we're talking about all this negative stuff that you can pull out from conversations like these. But instead, okay, this person has a problem. If my husband comes to me and he has a problem and we're talking, I know that, okay, in some way, some shape, form, you are hurt. And all I want to know is what we can do to make it better. I'm not going to sit there and be like, well, why do you feel that way? You shouldn't feel that way. Because you know how much stuff I do for you and this, that, and the other. No, you're coming to me with everything that you feel is valid. And that's how your spouse should feel, or your partner should feel. That if I have an issue, or if I feel like you rub me the wrong way, or if I feel hurt, or whatever it is, I am your safe space. You can come to me and we can talk these issues out. You can feel open and free to discuss these things, and I'm not now shaming you for how you feel. Help each other grow, help each other. Like, a lot of times we want the other person to automatically know what it is that we want and how we should, how we receive love. And they should know all these things, right? What not to do, what they should do, how to become better. But the reality is that they don't. They don't know. I don't know. He doesn't know. This is when you come together and you say, okay, we want to be the best people that we can for each other. We want that ideal relationship. Everybody has their relationship goals, right? You see that everywhere. And so, what is your ideal relationship? And discussing that with each other and just saying, okay, well, how can we reach that together? How can I help you become the person that you want to be? And how can you help me become the person that I want to be? That was another thing that we talked about, was just our ideal relationship, our ideal marriage, and just getting a picture of what that looked like.
What it looks like.
What does that feel like?
Everyone has a vision or a picture of where they would want to be in life.
Yeah.
You know what it feels like. You know what it looks like.
And you know what you want.
Yeah, you know what you want. It's
Yeah.
the same exact thing. It's the same exact thing. So, the same way you vision your career, or whatever it is that you're choosing to do, the success. Everyone envisions success at some point in their life. I don't care if it's playing sports. I don't care if it's within business. You envision yourself being extremely successful in whatever it is that you're doing. So it's the same vision that you have and what it is that you're doing, you apply to your marriage. Envision what it is. What does it look like? What does it feel like?
Yeah.
Shoot, what does it sound like? How is the communication?
Yeah.
What are you doing every day? And it's like, and you don't have to wait till you start applying or implementing those things right now. Do it now.
Yeah.
Do it now. And then what happens is you start to grow into it. You become what it is that you see.
That you envision.
Yeah, you become.
And that's, when we talked, one of the things was is that we wanted, it to be love in our household and peace in our household, and just that open communication and just supporting each other, where we are back to doing those things together. Where I even said, when we were like helping the kids brush their teeth, I'm like staring over at him, and I'm looking at him, and we're making googly eyes at each other. Like, those are the things that I wanted, and those are the things that we discussed, of just how we want to feel.
You know what that goes to show?
What? You
can still get that feeling. Like, there is a such thing as, I guess, getting that fire back, I guess you would call it. It's like, once it's gone, it doesn't have to be, it's not gone or whatever. Yeah. It's there, it's just reigniting it.
Yeah.
And whatnot. I know oftentimes it's easy, and I know prior to our relationship, anytime something started to go south, I'm like, oh, it's dead now.
Yeah.
We started to go something. There was no bouncing back. Oh, this dead. I'm already checking out, because I don't believe in the fact that, hey, we can bounce back. But no, I'm learning. Like, no, there's a way to bounce back. There's a way to bounce back in a relationship. There's a way to get that fire, to get that feeling about that person that you had before. One of the things that we talked about was, like, when we first came in here, we just felt love.
Yeah.
People would come in,
felt that way.
and people came to our household, and it's like, yo, I just feel the love in here, And then it got to a point to where it's just like, yo, it felt cool. But you don't even realize, it kind of just like happens until you talk about it and you address it. And it's like, yo, I don't feel love in this household.
Yeah.
I don't. Everybody, again,
is doing their own thing.
Everybody's doing their own thing. We got to a point where our daughter was in her room.
Yeah.
On her iPad.
Yeah.
She's 6. 5 at the time. This is before she turned 6. She would be on her iPad. She would go up, and, this is another thing. Because I guess you could kind of say that we introduced this to them. Mm-hmm. We showed them these things, right? We're on our phones. We're by ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We're always on the phone.
Yeah. And what
on
happens
the phones,
is
looking at through the phone, scrolling, doing on calls, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
We were always on the phone.
Yeah. And what happens is now they're getting on their iPads, they're going to hide behind counters, they're going into their rooms, they're sitting in their little corners, you know. So that's one thing. It's like, dang, that same stuff that we was doing, it's like you see it right there in your children. And it's like, no, we got to break this. We got to break this.
But realizing that starts with you.
For us, you know, for our relationship, for our marriage, and for them, for our relationship with them.
Yeah.
One of the first, you know, thinking like the first thing they should be asking, like, can I get on my iPad?
Yeah.
I wanted to get to a point to where it's like, all right, can we have our breakfast time as a family?
Yeah.
You know? And they like it though. That's the thing about it. They really, really like it. But when you do it here, when you do it there, it's like, all right, you know, all right, cool. Can I get my iPad while I eat?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you see those types of things, and going back to what we said, I mean, that also, I guess the word would be, infuses that cold feeling within your house, right? Because now it's not just us that's doing our own thing.
Yeah. It's everybody doing their own thing.
Everyone is
so we're actually 4 separate. Now our little baby is 10 months, so you know she's stuck to one of our hips. But for those who can't do whatever they want to do, that's 4 people doing their own separate things, and it just became where everybody was individualized and we didn't move as a unit. And that's one of the things that you had highlighted, is just like, I want our family to be a unit, a tight-knit family, that we do things together, we enjoy each other's company, we love each other. Like, it's not just I love you just with words, but with action, with feeling, with like, I genuinely love you and I love being around you. When you are moving through this, you know, moving through your relationship and times get rough and you hit a rough patch, you know, like we did, and you're on the rocks and you guys have those hard conversations and you realize, okay, well, this is something that everybody goes through. Everybody goes through hard times. Okay, great. So we've identified what's going on. Now that you've gotten that awareness that has been brought to the forefront, now what are you going to do about it? And how are you going to make this a consistent thing? Because we've been here, we've had these conversations for years. We've had these conversations.
I was just about to say that too.
Yeah.
It's like
years.
Yeah, but that's years of talking and hearing.
Yes.
Not listening.
Yes,
like,
and not applying.
It's like you gotta internalize.
Yeah.
Like if you notice that something is going on with your relationship and your
don't
partner
wait.
brings it to
don't
you,
wait.
Yeah,
even because we would know that stuff is going on, but it's like, okay, well, we're not gonna really say anything. Yeah. We weren't saying anything until it was like it kind of got here, and then we have the conversation, and then we bring it back down, and we're like, okay, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna go out more. We're gonna do, and then like he said, that happens a couple days, you know, maybe a week, and then we fall back into our default, which is going back to the same ways that we talked about, and then you don't catch it again until it builds back up. And then we have the same conversation, and then we do the same thing again, and then we repeat the cycle. This time we were like, yeah, we're not going back. So we are on the journey of, what do we say, rekindling our relationship, and just making that firm decision that we're not going to go back to where we were. Like, there is absolutely, it's not happening. It is not happening. We will do whatever it takes to not reach that point again. Right. And we've been doing it. We've been doing it. I didn't know that marriage was like this. It was like, oh, so you have issues even if you were like the I don't know.
You have issues even if, because we don't argue.
Yeah.
That's one thing. We don't argue. I would say we don't have many disagreements.
No.
So you can look at it and say, "Oh, this is y'all don't don't
Y'all have a great relationship.
No. Issues still come.
Yes.
Still come. It's like
Yes.
you still have issues, even though you don't argue, don't yell, you don't fuss, you don't fight, any of that stuff. I'm not babysitting. But yeah, you do still have issues, and that's one thing that I learned. I was like, man, we're not gonna. I mean, everything was great. Like we didn't argue, but yo, that giving that other person the quality time is important.
Yes.
At the end of the day,
spend
it's like
time.
if you don't spend the time in your relationship, and it's like I've seen those situations where it's like they're not a bad person.
Yeah.
They're a great person. They'll make a great husband. They'll make a great wife. They'll make a great father. It's like you can check off all these great things about the person, And I feel like that's what we could do. But at the same time, it's where you got to be able to identify like why your relationship. Because I'm like, if I hear somebody say, I'm like, so what's the problem?
What's the problem?
What happened?
They're great people.
And it's easy to draw back to, we just weren't compatible. No.
Yeah.
There is no we aren't, because you were compatible. You don't just all of a sudden become incompatible.
Yeah.
You let it fall apart.
If you find yourself in this space, understand that what you had before, because sometimes we do cling to what it was, of just like, oh, it was so great. Oh, we used to have so much fun. Oh, we used to be so deeply in love. Phone died. Yeah. Had to get an emergency charge. Yeah. So you're tied to how you used to be, and you're looking back and you're saying, well, we used to be this. We used to be so in love. We used to have so much fun together, and now we're not. So that must mean that things have gone south, and we're just not who we thought we were, as far as being together, and we're just not the couple that we thought we were going to be. Or maybe I made the wrong decision. But I want you to know that if it was there before, it can be again, just like you said, and just like that can be rekindled, but it takes intention. Yeah. It takes you prioritizing that. It takes you saying, well, look, I refuse to settle for anything less than what it is that I want. And that was, I have to explain, because I didn't even tell you this, but when I was talking to my mother about what we were going through, right? He was right there, but we were talking to my parents about everything that was going on and stuff. And one of the things that she was saying was that, well, but you've made a commitment. You made a commitment. So that commitment means that you stay here. You stay here and y'all remain together. And one of the things that I had told her was, you have to know, not just I guess you should say, not the basis of the commitment, not just the fact that you made a commitment to the other person, but you really have to understand what that commitment was to and what that commitment was for. Is that commitment just to remain together? Because a lot of people are holding to that and staying with each other, even though we feel like roommates and under one household, but we're married. But we can say we never got divorced. We made a commitment and we're honoring our commitment. You've got to understand, what are you committing to? What is it? And for us, our commitment is being that ideal relationship, that ideal marriage that we see and that we want. So I'm not just satisfied with just remaining here, even though everything else is falling into shambles. Like, just to say that we haven't gotten a divorce, or we're not talking about divorce, or we're still together, we're still holding it together. No, I don't want to just merely hold it together. I want us to be on point of where we are so deeply in love. We are enjoying each other even into our hundreds. Like, y'all gonna be mad at us because pull out the dentures and we still gonna be kissing. Like, you're gonna be like, can you take that somewhere else? That's the type of relationship that I want and that we want. My standards are high. My standards were high when I met you. Your standards were high when you met me. Like, that's how we got together. And if we didn't settle for the people that we were going to be married to, we're not settling for the marriage that we are in.
Yeah. It's cool to not talk about divorce, but let's talk about how we're going to continue to grow.
Yes.
How we're going to continue to get better.
I like that. Yeah. That was good. Don't settle. Stop settling. I don't want to see anybody settle. Like, you don't have to. I'm just saying that you do not have to settle. You can have that ideal relationship that you see in your head, that I know that you have pictured and that you have seen and that you felt. You can have that. But it goes back to that intention. It comes back to that prioritizing. What are you going to do in order to make that happen? Everything good requires sacrifice, right? Yeah. So what are you willing to sacrifice to be able to have that? And so here's to our journey to becoming the $1 million couple, right? I realized I was on this journey to $1 million by myself. Oh my gosh. Facts. Doing everything by myself. Facts. But we are in this together, and
I'll let you have it. No,
yeah.
She's probably bringing the meal.
Yeah, no. This is us
this
together. And
3 chords.
Yes. Us together. We are going to do this together, and we are in this together, and we are just only going to grow stronger, more tightly knit, and miracles are going to happen. Cheers, I bet. Look how much I don't even have that much in there. Boop. There will be more to come. We will be giving updates, and we will be discussing what's going on, what things we're doing, what dates we're going on, things that we like, things that we don't like, things that didn't work, things that did work. So yes, we will be transparent on this journey. You know how we do. As we say, like, share, subscribe. And if this helped you, or if you gained anything from it, don't be stingy. Share it with somebody else, because just as it helped you, it can help other people. So this is what we are. This is our business of impacting the world, impacting everyone that we come across. So we're sharing everything: family stuff, marriage stuff, individual stuff, business stuff, whatever it may be. This stuff is going to be here. We're open.
Yeah, something that I'm normally not.
I know. Be present, and work on y'all's relationship.
Yeah, be present, communicate.
Yeah.
Communication isn't just talking either.
Yes. It's listening, hearing,
and applying,
and validating the other person.
Yeah.
Validation. We need that. So.
You don't discount what I feel. Yes,
don't discount what the person feels. Like, the person is feeling that way for a reason. Like, that's why they're coming to you. Something happened. So it is only your job to make it better. Not your job to place blame. Not your job to say that you shouldn't feel this way. Not your job to do anything else. You are just supposed to be rectifying the situation. How can I make this better? I'm so sorry that I hurt you. I'm so sorry that this even happened. That's not what I meant. I'm so sorry. I don't ever want to make you feel that way. How can I not do that again? That's it. All right? So that's it.
I'm not doing that.
All right. Bye.